All right, we're here on Heather Sims' home. This is the slope that's been approved already for replacement. As you can see, those slopes tied in. Of course, this is approved. This one right here is the one that's supposed to stay, right? That's what the repair estimate has so far. So we got a piece of underlayment. We already removed this ridge cap here. So again, removing this side, tucking in the underlayment into this side. And again, according to manufacturer specifications, that's what we have to follow per building code. It has to, that underlayment has to tuck under this shingle on the adjacent slope. So we're gonna remove the nails, we're gonna tuck the underlayment under and see if we can get to the 6 inches that's required by code. So come over here, the knife. All right, come over here. You can see that the shingle that's gonna be removed for replacement is overlapping. So we lift it up to see what we can. Now, this tar paper is incorrectly installed. This is supposed to be under this shingle here. So we're gonna go ahead and remove these plastic cap nails. This shingle here on the slope that's supposed to be staying is overlapping this side over here. Now, of course, we don't wanna mess with the shingle because that's gonna lower the quality of what she has now. But since this tar paper is going anyway, let's cut this. So we can lift up. There we go. And let's pull this away. All right. So the goal is to take the underlayment and tuck it under this shingle. Under this shingle here. So there it is. We're supposed to get 6 inches onto the adjacent slope under this one. Let's see if we can do that. So we'll go ahead and remove the nails here on this side. Which, by the way, just removing the ridge cap, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 holes already. This is one that's holding this shingle in, or this, this shingle in. But that's the 13th nail that's in this shingle. So again, we're gonna leave this shingle here with a whole bunch of nail holes in it. Here, let me step on this side actually. Might be a little easier. Try not to damage this shingle any more than it is. All right, so we'll lift this. And here's the tricky part. Here's the tricky part is lifting this shingle enough to get that tucked. So it's got to tuck in between the shingle and the underlayment is what the technical bulletin is. Oh, here, if you look over this way, that tar paper is not even covering this wood right here, so that's not up to code, right? So since we're working into that, I'm not going to be able to nail in this unless we get that tar paper under here. How do we lift this drip edge? Those are two separate pieces, as you can see right here. How do we lift this drip edge and run this tar paper under that, how code says and how manufacturer specifies that it needs to be installed? Okay, that's just how it is existing. Look, you can see the wear. Dust right here, totally clean right here. All right, there's a whole separate issue right there we didn't expect. But regardless, we got to get the underlayment tucked in here 6 inches, and then we got to nail it in. Okay. All right, Jeff, so manufacturer says we're supposed to install these fasteners for the underlayment about 1 inch from the edge. It's even got a graphic here for you to see. So if we're supposed to put this at least 1 inch from the edge, we could even put it just a little further, but we can't just put it wherever we want and hope for the best here. Now let's just measure this again, make sure this is right. So we got 6 inches right here from the peak. You see that's where it folds to the end. That's where it's got to overlay to. Now, let's go ahead and step on this so it doesn't move. I'll lift this up. Now when you lift this shingle, if we were to tuck it in between this second course shingle, right, and this top one, that's right here, we're supposed to get 6 inches in there. So I physically can't get it all the way in there. Now if we push it with a flat bar or something, the problem is these holes And the strip here, I'll show you. So here's where the sealant strip is on this shingle, right? And I'll show you on this one too, just so you can see. Oh, so the sealant strip on this shingle, here's a nailing zone, which is right above where the exposure is marked. That sealant strip, what is that? It's from 1.5 inches to 3 inches that thick above the exposure. So if we measure that over on this side, that's gonna be right here, 1.5 inches to 3 inches. So that sealant strip's right here. This is 6 inches right there. So we're not gonna be able to tuck it under that. So let's say, okay, you can't tuck it under this one. You're not gonna be able to tuck it in between this one and this one, right? We see why we can't, because that sealant strip. So let's try tucking it under all of it. Now the problem with this also, when you try to tuck that all the way under, here, if you look, see there's a tear right there. If you come over here and look in this way, right in here, right when you get to right about there, 5 inches in about, you can see the nails. Those nails aren't allowing us to get under there. So when the manufacturer specifies that we have to remove the nails and tuck the underlayment under, sometimes that works if this shingle is a little bit lower down and we're not, and we can easily take the nails out. We're gonna have to remove the nails from this shingle, which are located under this one right here. So we'll just do it real quick just to show you what I'm talking about here. Let me grab this flat bar. So let's go ahead and break the seal on the shingle. Once again, this seal being broken, once the shingle is removed, we are unable to put it back in, right? We're unable to reuse the same architectural asphalt shingles. Now, I also want to point this out. See this crease right here? Just from the little bit of manipulation. And again, it's because this has been bent over this ridge for so long. When we bend that back over, just totally creasing the shingle right here. A lot of granule loss, where you can rub my finger on another part of the shingle, it's not happening. It's just right here what's been damaged from the bend. So let's go ahead and break this seal. Hopefully without breaking the shingle. These Tamco shingles are real tough. Trying to do this as careful as I can. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to break that seal. Look at that. Totally ripped that shingle, and you saw me do it. This seal right here came apart. A little bit of material transfer from here, but this is the real bad part right here. Anyway, me pasas el, you see that measure, the tape measure? All right, so with the tape measure, again, we're already ruining the shingle right here, and we broke the seal. That's the only way we're gonna be able to get to 6 inches. Now, when we lift this shingle up, you'll see we carefully took it apart, but this Tamco shingle, holy shit, this is a tough shingle right here. So we're able to break the seal without damaging it, but this right here, you can totally see that it's just tons of material transfer. There's just no way to do it. I'd love an explanation if you disagree. Let's just say if we could, let's go ahead and measure it for fun. Here's 6 inches. You can see where that 6 inch mark lines up right with that nail. So these fasteners right here, this one's past 6 inches, this one's touching 6 inches. So we'd have to remove these, pull this up, tuck this new underlayment under here, and then we would have to nail this within 1 inch of that underlayment under this shingle right here. There's just no way to do that. Can't reach that far, can't nail this in properly. It's flush, it can't be at an angle. So it can't be slanted like this, it has to be flush. There's just no way to nail that in under the shingle. No way to get that done in this circumstance. So hopefully that's what you guys need to see. If you disagree, I'd love a demonstration as to how to do it. But yeah, Let's even worse, best case scenario, we were able to get the underlayment tucked. You're leaving this shingle with a bunch of fastener holes in it. Once we put the ridge cap back on, we're not going to be able to nail the holes right in the same hole. There's just no way to get it back to the same condition it was in. So we're totally compromising the condition of the shingle on the adjacent slope that has not yet been approved for replacement.